Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jamesville-DeWitt Central High School here in DeWitt, New York for tonight's contest between the visiting Cortland Purple Tigers and your Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams. Hi everybody, Sam Gelfand, the voice of the Red Rams, here alongside my broadcast partner Nick Dekaney for what should be a firecracker of a matchup.
Absolutely. Last meeting, Cortland fell to Jamesville-DeWitt. That was December 10th. Fun fact, Cortland hasn't lost since then. Winners of 8 straight in a row, and they look to make it 9 straight tonight to take sole possession of second place in the SCAC League.
It has been 46 days since Cortland last lost a game, but tonight might be their biggest test in keeping that streak alive. The Red Rams defeated the Purple Tigers 38-33 on December 10th. We'll see if the results will be at all similar tonight. And we are underway here in DeWitt.
Jamesville-DeWitt already making smart plays, getting the ball in hands of their playmaker, Ava Sandroni.
But she cannot capitalize on first attempt. Quickly passed into Margaret Starr. And Turner can't find the basket.
And a nice job there by Starr to find the cutting Turner inside and get a chance at some free throw opportunities early.
And the first point of the game goes to Mallory Turner of the Purple Tigers. The second point is yet to be decided. Macy Durkin will take it across half court for the Red Rams. Sent it to Sandroni. Payne swings it to Durkin. Sandroni at the top. Quick bounce pass to Payne. Thinking about Neal inside, instead goes to Durkin, back to Payne. 12 seconds left on the shot clock. Neal inside the paint, puts up a bucket.
And that's what you'd like to see if you are a Red Ram fan. Keeping the ball with 2 of their best playmakers on the team.
Not if Kirsten Merritt has anything to say about it. Durkin, Sandroni, Payne. Steps through 2, gives it to Neal on the run. Shot is off target, and Benjamin cannot keep it in bounds. Bit of a whirlwind start already for this game. It's not been unusual to see in previous Red Rams contests neither team scoring for the first 3 or 4 minutes of a game.
Yeah, but it seems that the Red Rams have already found kind of what they're trying to attack here offensively, which is get inside and get it to Anaya Neal. Obviously didn't pan out there, but run the offense through Ava Sandroni and keep the ball with your playmakers.
Pass into Starr under heavy coverage. Passes across to Merritt, fakes a pass. Instead finds Starr inside, out to Turner. Turner driving in. No look pass to Starr off the bottom of the rim and rebounded by Macy Durkin.
And way to stay attentive by Anaya Neal. Tough to keep up with Turner and Starr there, but she takes both of them down by herself.
Anaya Neal, one of the many bright young stars on this Red Ram squad. Future is indeed bright for this organization.
And what a future they have to build upon, especially with Coach Zaplicki taking over recently. It's got a lot of young talent, Victoria Payne, Anaya Neal, Sandroni, to build upon in these next couple of years. And even right now, this Red Ram team is going to be a team to beat and a team to watch for these next couple of years.
And even right now, they are tied for second with the Purple Tigers in the SCAC Empire Conference, and Ava Sandroni puts up 2. Kendall Mack with the pass to Danielle Benjamin. That's only a 2, though. Still, Benjamin did not score against the Red Rams in their last contest. She already has 2 now.
And there's a tough defensive play from Maddie McKinney trying to come all the way across court to guard the open three-point shooter. Just couldn't close out in time, but still a nice effort from her.
Neal tries to push in, off the mark. Durkin gets the rebound, but hers is not much better. And she keeps Benjamin close, though she is able to find her way across the half-court margin. Merritt playing with a knee brace, but it does not prevent her from sinking that two-pointer. 5 points already for Kirsten Merritt.
Yeah, and the Purple Tigers already have been able to find an attack in the holes within this Jamesville-DeWitt offense, excuse me, their defense. We'll see if Coach Saplicki wants to take a timeout anytime soon to try and adjust to that.
Payne passes over to Sandroni, who has time. No one covering her, and she makes them pay. It's going to be a real duel between Sandroni and Merritt tonight. Though Merritt undershoots that three-pointer, and Payne wrestles it away, but not exactly to the delight of the referees.
Yeah, and you're talking about Sandroni. It's not only her ability to shoot the ball, especially well from that mid-range area, but it's her ability to cut inside and draw defenders in close to her, which then allows her to kick it out to more open shooters, which Jamesville-DeWitt has plenty of. And that's what's been able to run the offense so smoothly in these last couple of games.
And the first free throw attempt from Margaret Starr. Toilet bowl's out. Don't think we were expecting it to be 6-8 right now, considering the last game score was only 38-33.
Yeah, and certainly two different looking teams as you compare them from earlier on in the season. Developed a lot, made a lot of chemistry with their teammates, and it's obviously showing off here in this early first quarter.
Durkin passes across to Payne, drives in to the left, rebounded by Turner. Now Kendall Mack takes it across, passes in, and it rolls off for Turner, rebounded by Durkin, who is a rebounding machine, currently averaging 7.3 per game. And Payne undercooks it. Sandroni thought she kept, McKinney thought she kept it in, but she did have 1 foot on the line. Situational awareness.
So important when it comes to basketball, really any game, but especially basketball. Trying to utilize every foot and every inch of the court to your advantage. And obviously it can go the wrong way at times.
Shucked across by Mack to no one in particular. Speaking of situational awareness, there's an example of why it's so important.
Yeah, a nice job by Anaya Neal. She could have dove for that, but could have resulted in really a messy play running the scoreboard, but still a really excellent job to pick off that passing lane and create a turnover.
Mack pass off the hands. Starr intercepted. And there's a little bit of confusion as that was a shot clock violation, except that the Red Rams got the ball back first before that.
Yeah, super late shot clock violations horn there. Wasn't really sure what was going on for a moment.
Blame the people at the desk. So it's inbounded to Macy Durkin. And we are back underway. Sandroni looking for an option. 2-3 zone employed by the Purple Tigers. Miriam Zogby in this game now. Pass off to no one. And after an initial flurry of offense, we're not seeing much now. Zogby out to Durkin. 1 second on the shot clock. She gets it off in time, but it doesn't matter. And we've seen a lot of shot clock violations as the first time out of the game is taken.
Yeah, already 2 on back-to-back possessions there for both teams. Kind of a testament to the defense that they're playing right now. Doing a really nice job of protecting the wings and not letting anything get easy inside, and that's why we've seen 2 back-to-back shot clock errors.
Well, let's take a quick look at what happened in the last time these two teams faced off on December 10th. Here are some of the key factors to consider. The Red Rams did not make a single three-pointer in that entire game. Purple Tigers made 25% of them. However, the Red Rams did shoot much better at the stripe. The turnover percentage for the Red Rams also much lower, and that has been a big difference maker for the Red Rams this entire season. Here might be the biggest difference maker, though. is points off of turnovers. The Red Rams had 17 of their 38 off of the turnover, only 3 for the Purple Tigers. However, Cortland did have more rebounds than the Red Rams did, which is unusual considering the Red Rams' strength has been rebounding this season. But 50, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and they still found a way to win even without making a three-pointer, and a kind of a testament, especially we look at that transition turnover statistic there. We've seen it all season long. Jamesville-DeWitt, such a pesky defensive team, and they do such a good job of shooting those gaps in the passing lanes and anticipating it from their opponents, which is why they're able to get all alone on a fast break.
Although I guess the question could be, is it a testament or did the Red Rams get lucky?
Well, I think when you have 17, that's a little bit more of good discipline than it is luck.
Red Rams get the ball back now. Durkin inbounds it. Sandroni quickly hands it off to Sindoni, taken out of her hands by Mallory Turner.
Yeah, and the spacing on that play didn't look quite aligned. Sandroni and Sindoni both kind of muddled up in the corner there. Not a good use of using the entire floor.
Mack to Merritt. Pass tipped. Courtesy of Sandroni. Now Sandroni, Zogby, Durkin, Zogby, Sandroni. Fights through to Neal, and it doesn't work. Rebounded by Turner.
Such a nice job, though, by Sandroni to drive it and make a tough pass to Neal. That's what she does for this offense.
And Merritt can't put up a 3, hoping for the lead. Instead, the Red Rams still up by 2. Sindoni thought about a shot. Now Sandroni passes to Durkin. Zogby back to Durkin. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Red Rams do not want another violation here. 5 seconds. Zogby decides for the 3. It's short, but Sindoni right underneath the basket puts it up for 2.
Yeah, and I think we'll just call that a pass by Zogby there.
It's generous.
As an opportunity now for a 2-for-1 to end this first quarter.
Zogby to Durkin. Round to Sindoni. 3-point attempt off and to the left. Tussle on the ground. That's a jump ball. You know, it is pretty interesting how Cortland and the Red Rams, for that matter, seem to rebound much more against each other than they do otherwise. 8 seconds left in the first quarter. Tries to get it into Claire Turner. Claire Turner, the rare center. Don't see too many of those listed on girls basketball rosters in Section 3. And Val Gamada puts it up for the final scoring of the first quarter to tie it. Or actually, no, to put Cortland up 10-8.
Yeah, and a really nice play design by the Purple Tigers to close that one out and find an open shooter right along that baseline. You mentioned talking about not a lot of true centers. Well, we actually saw a true center last week against Auburn, 6'5", and really caused a force for this Jamesville-DeWitt offense. And again, you mentioned the rebounding numbers. A part of that can be because in this matchup, a lack of height or lack of super height amongst those center positions.
Well, we want to talk a little bit about rebounding. Why don't we take a look at how these two teams are doing this season? The Red Rams do score more points on average, and it's important to point out that this number here, the points versus, has been heavily skewed for the Red Rams because of one game. Against RFA, the Red Rams fell 75-39. It's the only game they haven't really been competitive in all season, but that almost 40-point gap has kind of thrown off a lot of their stats. The Purple Tigers do have a higher field goal percentage. They also shoot much better from 3, 8 points more, which could be a difference maker tonight. Red Rams, though, put up more rebounds.
And often I find a lot of the three-pointers that these Red Rams end up taking are really towards the end of the shot clock when they can't find an open look and they kind of need to chuck something up. Not traditionally a three-point focused team. They love to get the ball inside and find a Nia Neal down low, or it's Ava Sandroni off the dribble drive.
Sandroni to Zogby, now back to Sandroni. Don't forget, everybody, we have a comment section here on JDTV, and we are looking at it. So if you have a thought on today's game that you want to share, feel free to, and we might even read it out on the air if we like it. And you gotta like that play from Nia Neal.
And an excellent start for these Red Rams. A little bit of a drought offensively in the last couple minutes of that first quarter. So good for them to find some momentum early in this.
Mack driving in to Starr, sinks it. Durkin takes it across, and Cortland currently up by 2. Sindoni gets closer, and the dribble drive doesn't work out for her.
And a shifty move from Sindoni to get the open look. Just couldn't quite capitalize when she got there.
The finish has been what's been bugging the Red Rams all season. The Red Rams have pretty much everything except the accuracy.
And it's tough, especially with a younger team like this, a little more inexperienced. That'll come with time. But it comes down to those senior and junior leaders to kind of step into that role and show these younger guys how to shoot. But Ava Sandroni doesn't need to learn from anybody.
And neither does Nia Neal. That's 6 points for her so far. Time is a precious commodity, and you think, yeah, you know, they might be better at this in the future. A long three from Merritt is off. They might be better in the future, but there's still a season going on right now.
And I think they've been able to take full advantage of that. I love what I'm seeing really offensively with the changes from Coach Saplicki, running that offense a little bit more through his youth and that a little bit of that inexperience, but to kind of give them that exposure and make them learn as they progress and become better basketball players.
This is certainly one of those changes we were wondering that what we would see compared to Coach Kurt Sweeney, excuse me, as Kirsten Merritt makes her first. Merritt shooting 57.1 from the stripe this season.
Yeah, and these free throws really almost ill-advised. No need to really foul on that last three-point attempt. But here we are at the line, and she gets 3 attempts. See if she can make at least 2 and come out of this with a positive percentage.
Nope. 1 for 3 is Merritt. And that was one of Cortland's Achilles' heels against the Red Rams last time. Durkin decides against the open look. Tries to find one more open. Sandroni certainly a good target. Durkin over to Payne. Across to Durkin. 8 seconds. Durkin driving in, draws the foul. It's good enough.
And what allowed them to get inside on that last position was the spacing all around for that Red Rams offense. Keeping the floor wide, utilizing all of that space, as I mentioned earlier, allows for them to kind of find defenders out of position, give them a little cut, and get to the basket for a foul.
Durkin makes her first. That is her first point of the night. Durkin actually leads the Red Rams in field goal percentage, 40.8 coming into this game.
Yeah, not someone who's going to take a whole lot of shots, but the shots that she does take are going to be smart and calculated. Such a playmaker for this Red Rams offense, and just a little bit of everything.
A lot of maturity has Macy Durkin. It's been a big difference maker this season as Starr cannot make it happen. Too much commotion in the paint. And that has energized the Red Rams. Payne over to Sandroni. Sandroni driving in. There's a hand on it, still puts it up. And Macy Durkin coming in with every piece of physicality she has.
Looked like she was going up for a jump ball there. It's absolutely monster defender, but unfortunately that is a foul.
It was like a running piggyback. It is not uncharacteristic to see the Red Rams butt heads.
I see what you did there.
Took you long enough. Passed in, passed out. Starr up against the glass. Durkin takes it across half court. Red Rams trying to confuse that defense. Sandroni decides against it. Dekaney to Durkin, sets a pick. Payne looking for a look, thought she had a lane, decides against it. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Sandroni has 5 seconds, towards the basket, puts it in. And that is 7 points for Ava Sandroni.
And so quick with her first move. Catches so many defenders off guard and is able to get that first step on them, which allows her to get inside.
And Riley Larkin puts up her first 2 of the game. The Purple Tigers have 9 players on their roster. You can expect to see just about all of them tonight.
Yeah, and really no other choice.
And McKinney's three-pointer a little bit off. And Merritt, she's got wheels. Chucks it in to Larkin. And I think that pass was a little too hard. She wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, I caught her a little off balance there. A little bit kind of led too far towards the out-of-bounds marker.
You can be a pitcher hurling 100 miles an hour. It doesn't matter if your catcher doesn't have a mitt.
Yeah, and here are the substitution changes for the Purple Tigers, as you just mentioned.
It's going to be important for the Purple Tigers to have frequent substitutions to keep people as fresh as possible when they only have 4 reserves on the bench. Shot by Starr off, tries again, that one's off too. Rebounded by McKinney, given to Durkin. Sandroni pausing for a moment, swings round from the stripe, and that bounces off to the right, rebounded by Val Gambetta. These two teams are so evenly matched.
Yeah, and it seems we're seeing the points come in bursts, really, from both teams. When both teams are hot, they got it going and they're scoring, but they can slow down pretty quickly and find themselves in a turnover battle.
The Red Rams passing round the horn. The Tiger defense has been ferocious. Off the mark, not kept in bounds. Cortland ball. And this first half is flying by, as that's the first action for Sadie Withers, now subbing in. And Durkin takes it right back away.
Yeah, and that comes off the double team from Sandroni and Withers. Just being able to collapse on that Purple Tiger.
Withers looking for an option to Durkin. I was about to point out that there are no Purple Tigers, but I guess there are no Red Rams either. It's a bit hypocritical.
Touché.
5 seconds. So Sandroni's going to try from up close, draws a foul.
But again, as I mentioned earlier, it's her first step ability and the quickness off that first step that allows her to beat her defender to the rim and find them out of position, which ends up drawing a lot of fouls or an easy layup.
She'll get to go to the line now. Hits her first, and it's just about as guaranteed as possible, as she is shooting 79.3 at the free throw line. Can't get much better than that, only about 20 points of wiggle room, and no one's automatic, as demonstrated there. Off the rim and taken away by Durkin. Riley Larkin's been putting up a lot of shots, but her shot selection has been a little bit off tonight.
Yeah, and a lot of these times in transition, she's open down the court.
So is Sandroni, and it doesn't work. Rebounded by Neal, taken away by Merritt. Another no-look pass. She's trying to confuse the defense, but she's confusing her own offense, too. Three-pointer by Kendall Makoff.
Almost a little too flashy.
So flashy, she's blinding her own teammates. No one is covering Margaret Starr.
Yeah, and a gaping hole within this Red Rams defense right on that right side of the basket. They've allowed so many points from there.
And Cendrone almost found a hole of her own. It's not often that we see holes in the Red Ram defense. But Kirsten Merritt continues to eat. That's 9 points. She put up 8 in her last game against the Red Rams. So she's showing improvement, and now it is 22-16.
Yeah, and she's been capitalizing on every opportunity that she's gotten. That's why she's at 8 points already early in this half.
Withers' pass to Neal was off the hands. No one there for Larkin. And the Purple Tigers are on the prowl.
Yeah, and for JD right now, find a good blast play to end this half and go into it with some confidence and a little bit of momentum.
Withers with the line drive off the mark. And Merritt now slows it down. She wants that last shot.
Yeah, and JD left a lot of time on that clock. They could have ran it all the way down to the last second. Instead, giving Cortland another opportunity, but they'll have one of their own.
3 seconds left. Durkin, Cendrone gets as close as possible. Stutter step off to the left, and that is the end of the first half. Back and forth contest, two very even teams here. And we can't wait to see what's going to happen in the second half. What adjustments will be made? Only one way to find out, and that's to stick around here on JDTV. We'll be back in 10 minutes with the start of half number 2. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Jamesville-DeWitt High School here in DeWitt, New York. Sam Gelfand and Nick Dekaney here for JDTV as the second half is now underway in this contest between the Cortland Purple Tigers and the Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams. And immediately off to a hot start, but Kendall Mack couldn't make that three-pointer, and it's a Red Ram ball. Macy Durkin will take it across half court. Nick, so far, what are your takeaways from the first half?
Well, the biggest takeaway I've seen so far is the way that the offense is being run, especially through Coach Saplicki. A lot of these younger players you see right now, Ava Sandroni, Victoria Payne, Macy Durkin, Anaya Neal, almost this entire lineup right now is sophomores or freshmen or juniors. And we're seeing them being able to have keys to the offense and be able to run it the way they think they should.
You know, we've been told that Coach Saplicki is very much of the mindset of let the kids play.
And he's doing just that, and he's seeing not only progress right now, but experience and exposure for the long term, especially for these younger players.
And certainly no one's complaining with his coaching, considering he was the former women's head coach at Syracuse University. And if Anaya Neal keeps this up, she might be on her way there herself, as that's her eighth point tonight.
Yeah, and it seems a common trend with these games is when Anaya Neal is on, the Red Rams have a very good chance at winning these basketball games. When she's not, it's a completely different story.
Seems the same could be said for Margaret Starr, who has 8 points tonight as well. 26-18. Payne, Sandroni, Payne. Gets it underneath, and Neal can't do it either. Loses control of the ball through the legs, wrestled away. Neal gets it back. Payne, if given another second, would have taken that away from Danielle Benjamin, but instead it's a jump ball.
But what else to play from Anaya Neal? I feel like I say this every game. Missed the first layup, gets her own rebound. Misses again, gets another rebound, fighting for it on the floor. Still didn't end up getting the ball, but still the effort put forth. Even when you're losing, you could tell she just has the competitive mindset.
This Red Rams basketball dynasty is sure to continue with so much promising young talent as that is snatched away by Ava Sandroni and given to Macy Durkin. Plenty of time for McKinney, but it is to the left and rebounded by Benjamin. And shooting percentage has continued to be an Achilles heel of both of these teams, including for Merritt tonight, who coming into this game was shooting 48.5, which is just astounding, but she has been struggling to hit him tonight.
Yeah, and this Red Rams defense has done an excellent job being able to slow her down and kind of put things in the pace that they want to play with.
But there is no slowing Ava Sandroni, and it forces a timeout from Cortland.
Yeah, and especially this past week for these Red Rams, a lot of breakout performances, certainly for Ava Sandroni, and I think Coach Saplicki has taken note of that.
And sometimes in matchups like this, we like to look to history. And of note, this is the 18th time these two teams have played in the last decade. JD has won all 17 prior contests with an average score of 58-31. The last time that the Cortland Purple Tigers beat the Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams was 2010. The last time that they won in this gymnasium was February 11th, 2010. They won 51-33.
That's astonishing, especially for two teams that play each other, I feel like, every single year in the same league, in the same division of the league. So,
well, it's almost easy to forget just how dominant the Red Rams have been in prior years. I mean, there was one game, I believe 3 or 4 of those 17 contests, where Cortland was kept under 20.
That's astonishing.
One of those games, they only scored 13.
Yeah, astonishing is really one of the few words I have to describe that. And just the consistency over the years to be able to hold them to that little amount of points, it seems as if the tides have changed.
Benjamin makes that one. Indeed, the last contest, 38-33, is the closest margin that these teams have ever had in the past decade. In the past, it traditionally hasn't really even been close. Sindoni travels on her way into the paint. In fact, the Red Rams' high score, as a timeout is called by Coach Saplicki for the first time, the Red Rams' high score against the Purple Tigers is 79. And the lowest they've ever scored was actually the 38th on December 10th.
Yeah, and a well-timed timeout there from Coach Saplicki. His offense kind of struggling a little bit to open things up in this second half, and Cortland has found their groove in slashing and finding holes within this Jamesville-DeWitt defense. So talking things over with his players, giving them a couple adjustments, and I'm guessing that he's really just telling them to go out and play with tenacity, and play with competitive spirit and pride to be a Red Ram.
You couldn't see it, but there was a very forceful clap at the end of that timeout from Coach Saplicki, clearly trying to fire up his players. And the Red Rams could use a little bit of fire underneath them. They haven't seemed to feel it much this season. And Merritt is off to the right. Rebounded by Starr. And a jump ball, and McKinney feeling it on her way back up from the hardwood.
Yeah, that was a tough fall for McKinney, but still, if you're Jamesville-DeWitt, you need to get those defensive rebounds. Had 3 players underneath the basket to only 1 Cortland Tiger, and yet still they found the offensive rebound and were able to retain possession.
And another timeout in quick succession, and Coach Saplicki is perhaps wondering why. And Mr. Goodson disconnected his phone again. We have to teach that man how to use a piece of technology. Mr. Goodson, our athletic director here at JD. We love him anyway. It's a fun quirk, you know? Not too many people made the trip here to this game. Understandable considering the weather conditions out there. We're watching this, say, in the future. There's been a lot of snow out there. It's not fun to drive in. Probably driving down attendance a little bit.
Yeah, and especially even coming out of the high school earlier today, a couple of cars landed up in the divot in between really the woods and part of the road you see exiting the high school. So nothing to joke about, especially when it gets nighttime and it gets really dark.
Stay safe out there, people, and we hope that you're watching safely at home on JD TV.
Yeah, even better reason to stay at home and watch us.
Exactly. You don't get this in the gym. Maybe that's why people show up.
There you go.
And, you know, something we haven't touched on yet tonight is we've talked about the Red Rams' history, but we haven't talked about Cortland's history. It's been an incredibly quick turnaround for this team. They were 2-8 in the spring, and now they are 10-2 right now as Sandrone double dribbles. It's not often that you see a team completely turn it around like that in just one season.
Yeah, and you got to give credit where credit is due to Coach Meyer to be able to flip the script like that in such a short amount of time. And obviously, over the offseason, she's working with her players, teaching them how to get better. When it comes season time, they're working hard, and it's clearly shown a 10-2 record right now in second place in the league.
Shot is off the mark. Sindoni picks it up. Now Durkin over to Sandrone, who has time to plant her feet. The catch and shoot doesn't work, though, and it is rebounded by Claire Turner.
Yeah, and I can see Coach Meyer on her bench frustrated at her players for leaving Sandrone that wide open. Cannot do that too many times because Sandrone will make you pay.
Same can be said for Merritt. But that one doesn't work, and yeah, now Coach Meyer very fired up.
And as a player, that's what you love from a coach that's passionate about the game, that'll get into it with you guys, yell at you a little bit, but at the same time, it's constructive and it's trying to make you better.
Kendall Mack. And rebounded by Durkin. The Red Rams used a lot more man-to-man defense earlier in the season, more or less settled into a zone. Feet on the line for Sandrone, bucket. Just a 2.
Yeah, you can see her hesitating there a little bit. But always a good decision when she shoots the ball.
Guess the question is, was it hesitation or was she lining up her shot? Yeah, and JD right now needs to find stops defensively and
really get into that turnover and that transition basketball they know how to play.
Passed in, Turner, Starr underneath the net. Too much trouble from Durkin, but gets the and one. And Margaret Starr's having herself a game. She has 10 so far.
And again, that goes back to the offensive rebounding for Jamesville-DeWitt. 2 Red Rams underneath that basket, and still Starr able to out-rebound them both and get the and one.
Sinks the free throw as well, so she's up to 11. She was only 1 for 7 shooting in her last contest against Jamesville-DeWitt. And 1 for 4 from the stripe as well. And Sandroni's shot doesn't work out either.
Yeah, and the high pick and roll seems to be what they're trying to do to get her going offensively.
Behind the back rebound didn't happen. Only so many synonyms for a missed shot. But how about a Nia Neal?
And that's a big-time bucket that can swing this momentum of this game. Stepping up with confidence, took a dribble, and was able to capitalize such a huge play that the Red Rams were in desperate need of.
She's up to 11 tonight as well. What a difference maker for this Red Ram squad. As Neal driving in now, heavy coverage, and it bounces off. And the foul on Kata Forrest.
Yeah, now the bench and this crowd starting to get involved. We saw this happen in one of the boys' games. The crowd completely swung the momentum of the game and made it so difficult for the opponents to focus and get a play drawn up.
I think you're thinking of the boys' game against Oswego. Foul on Sandroni now, who is not the person you want to foul, as she will go to the line. Of course, we can't stop buzzing about that Oswego game for the entire season, considering they were down by 20 at halftime and then won by 10.
What is it that you call this arena?
The Cacophonous Cottage.
Yeah, and it holds true to that name, especially with the sound. Bounces off both the walls, and it just echoes within this gym.
Sandroni hits both. That's 14 points for her. Usually gyms have some sort of soundproofing material in the ceiling which deadens the noise, but none so here. All these hard surfaces reflecting sound bouncing around. And that shot bounces around but eventually finds its destination, courtesy of Val Gambetta. 43 seconds left in the third quarter.
Would love to see JD take their time on this shot.
But Neal got a little premature. Rebounded by the Red Rams, though.
Yeah, and you have a lot of time on that shot clock. You can bring that thing down to 4 or 5 seconds.
Well, if you think you got the look.
Yeah, but at the same time, you don't want to rush that shot when you can find a better one. Tough for me. I don't play basketball, but if I were a player, that's what I'd be looking for.
If you want a better shot, look no further than Kirsten Merritt. Durkin now has 7 seconds on the clock. Neal, pick set, on the run, hits it. 1 second, and that is the end of the third quarter. Anaya Neal ties her career high of 13 points as the Red Rams trail 29-36.
And I'm sure she's going to pass that in this remaining fourth quarter. She really found her groove towards the end of the third there, taking steps with confidence, dribble, pull up from 3 or from mid-range, just confident within her shot, and that's going to really translate. And that's what the Red Rams need if they want to come back in this one.
Why don't we talk, while we're talking about that, about the Red Rams score report. Here is a heat map of all the field goals JD has taken throughout this season and whether or not they hit it. And the Red Rams certainly seem comfortable in the paint, but not quite so on the outside.
Yeah, and that really can just be the type of players that you have in that certain year, and how you scheme them into your offense and how you create the offense that is best suited for your type of players.
The Red Rams are effectively creating like this arrow here. They're not shooting from the wings very much at all.
Yeah, but it has worked so far this season, and especially being able to drive inside. Yeah, they find so many of their points right at the basket, and they draw a lot of fouls as well.
Could be an arrow, could be like a tugboat from the front.
Got a lot of designs there. Wow. Artiste.
It's kind of like a Rorschach test. You look for what you see.
Yeah. But yeah, it doesn't always have to come from the three-pointers for JD to be successful. We see a lot of other teams heavily rely on that three-pointer, but neither of these teams tonight are doing so.
Twos have been the primary driver of scoring in this game so far as the fourth quarter now begins. Merritt to Turner. Around to Benjamin. Under heavy pressure. And the Red Rams defense coming out energized at the very least. And it pays dividends.
Really nice double team there from the Red Rams to be able to force that pressure and make a bad pass.
Durkin slowing down. Sandroni benefits from the pick, but just short. Clangs iron. And now Merritt will take it across.
And again, going back to that high pick and roll with DeForest or Neal setting the pick, creates an open opportunity.
But no point
Just
capitalizing.
not always capitalized on.
And now Durkin holds on as Coach Saplicki starts yelling to his players to switch sides. Ate up some of the clock, though. A hand was gotten onto that three-point attempt, rebounded by Durkin. Sandroni, Durkin. Over to Zogby, nearly had it poked out for just a moment. Sandroni has a lane inside, quick bouncer to Neal, she can't find it, gets it back, taken away, foul.
Looks like a water slide underneath the basket there. A lot of bodies falling, but a nice job from Neal to stick with it, even though she kind of lost it for a minute there. Stay with it, draw the foul, and able to keep possession.
Sandroni up at the top. Zogby to Durkin. Cross to Sandroni. Driving in. And Ava Sandroni now has a new career high 16 points tonight.
And it seems like almost every game now that we're calling, she's setting a new career high. Just finding her groove offensively and being allowed to get that green light. Hey, take those shots. We want to run the offense through you, and you're seeing it pay off right now. Only cut down to a 5-point lead.
It is 36-31. Though the Tigers could expand that by 2 or 3 here. Not if Macy Durkin has anything to say about it.
And it's right here where they need to capitalize. Get a good look at the basket.
Moving pick set by Riley Larkin, to the dismay of the refs. Timeout called by Coach Saplicki.
Wasn't sure if that was a charge or not, but called a blocking foul on the Purple Tigers, so.
And we were talking about those changes and what the team has done and how they've progressed throughout the season. Here's a little graph of some of the Red Rams scoring and other statistics in the first 5 games of the season and the last 5 games of the season. And so far we see positive momentum in their field goal percentage, which has really been an issue they've been struggling with all season. They have been lowering their turnover percentage as well, which is a big point from Coach Sweeney earlier in the season. Their assist to turnover rate, which is kind of a general measure of ball handling, has increased. More assists, they've been less selfish with the ball as the season has gone on. However, it has come at the cost of rebounds, which has been a big issue because rebounds win games. In fact, if you go back and you look at the prior games in this season, there's not much of a difference in wins and losses on turnover percentage, but there is a big difference on rebound percentage.
Yeah, and rebounds are super underrated key to winning any type of basketball game. If you're able to get a lot of offensive rebounds, that's a whole nother possession that your team can take, another 24 seconds off that clock you can waste and use to find another play and get another basket.
So while it is good that the Red Rams have cut down that turnover percentage, rebounds may continue to be the key. And of course on that graph we also saw the plus-minus, which once again thrown off by that RFA game.
But a crafty play there drawn up by Coach Zaplicki to come in from that timeout off the inbound and get one of his better shooters a nice look, which draw the foul.
First point of the game for Miriam Zogby. Now, Zogby has actually been struggling more as the season has progressed, but that might be something nice to put her in a better mindset.
And it's tough, especially to remain consistent when you have a changing starting lineup around you as well. She's been one of the few that started every game this season. But especially as a senior, you know she leads this team and does a great job.
Zogby started the season as a starter, but has actually been relegated further and further to the bench as the season has gone on, as she's just been getting cold. And sometimes you just need that spark, that one performance to get your head back in it. Sports psychology is such a fickle thing.
And sometimes that's what it takes to draw some of those good performances out of your players. For them to be angry and say, hey, I deserve a chance. I deserve to start. Let me go prove myself.
And Anaya Neal came flying out of nowhere. The Red Rams will gladly take that foul.
Oh my gosh, she just came out of right field and swatted that one away. And they're going to flip it. They're going to call it a block.
Anaya Neal, what a difference maker. And now arguments from Coach Janice Meyer of Cortland.
Yeah, and there was some uncertainty from the refs, still is right now, as they're trying to determine the right call. But it'll stay with the Red Rams, and now only a 3-point game. A huge swing already in this fourth quarter.
Durkin taking it across. Zogby. And tipped by Mallory Turner.
Yeah, was trying to find DeForest there off the pick and roll, but played really nicely by Cortland.
And another shot blocked by the Red Rams. The defensive instincts have been blossoming as the season goes on. They're able to read the body language and know when someone's about to go for a shot and then capitalize on that. And Zogby fails to capitalize on that running shot. Scramble for the ball. Goes out. Who do they give it to? Red Rams.
And Anaya Neal just does so many things that won't show up on the stat sheet.
And plenty of things that will.
Absolutely, but the hustle that she displays on a nightly basis and the ability to generate second chance points for her team does so much, even though they weren't able to convert there.
Snell brought down by Merritt. Merritt by far this team's leader in points, including tonight. Into Turner. Starr. Nope.
Yeah, would have been a big swing there if Starr was able to convert on that easy layup, but still remains a 3-point game and a chance for the Red Rams to tie it here.
Cortland has officially scored more than they did in the previous game. Previous game against JD, that is. Sandroni from the wing. Knocked down. Draws the foul. And if it's someone like Sandroni who's fouled, you're okay with that because it means she goes to the line. She has 3 for 4 so far tonight.
Especially now that they're in the bonus, too. That's going to be critical as we come down the stretch. Remaining in this fourth quarter. Excuse me, not in the bonus, but they're getting closer and closer with every foul that Cortland gives.
Said that was not a shooting foul, so Sandroni doesn't go to the line. Instead, Payne's shot is off, and it's a Cortland ball.
Yeah, they're going to get DeForest for an over the back there, trying to get the rebound, but just wasn't quite in position.
Turner hesitates, and that cost her. A hold called on JD. Sandroni specifically, that's only her first foul of the game. Which, you know, is something that is also underappreciated. They play a clean game. Red Rams get that ball back. Both teams actually had exactly 18 fouls on the last contest against each other. Snatched out of the air by the Red Rams. Durkin to Sandroni, hesitates for a moment. She's got a fresh shot clock.
And that's where we talk about those offensive rebounds. So important to give their team another chance. And Sandroni fouled hard there.
And she is expecting to go to the line for that one, and why wouldn't she? The Red Rams also now enter the bonus.
All comes down to fundamentals in a close basketball game like this. Got to make your free throws, got to be smart with the ball, no turnovers, and get your rebounds.
That was a painful miss for Sandroni, who still has 20 in her sights. And being 4 for 6 from the stripe will help. She's up to 17.
And still a considerable amount of time left, just under 3 minutes, so Cortland can still draw up a nice offensive play. Don't have to rush anything yet.
There's plenty of time as it's a 2-point game, and a travel is called on Kirsten Merritt, who is not happy about it. Throwing the ball in frustration to the referee.
Yeah, kind of just a lapse of awareness there.
Well, the Red Rams also have to be thinking, hey, if we can keep her frustrated, that'll keep her off balance and give us a better chance of coming back and winning this one. Payne passed inside, back to Payne. And a Cortland ball. And
yeah, I think they might have gotten her for a carry there.
We just talked about the importance of a clean game, and that's why it's so important. Every possession matters now. I mean, they do all game, but especially now. Starr into Turner. Off from behind, but Anaya Neal very clearly signaled, hey, she did not push her.
Yeah, and I think she just was getting into position, didn't actually use any of her hands, but I know a lot of parents in this crowd upset at that call. It'll remain JD ball.
Well, it seemed clean to me. No hands were used in the making of that play.
But sometimes, you got to argue the call even if you know it's right. That's what a true fan does.
It's what a good coach does as well. You always want to leave just enough of a benefit of the doubt in the referee's mind as Durkin's shot is off the mark, rebounded by Merritt. You want to make the referee doubt themselves just that little bit because it might come back to help you later on.
Yeah, and that's a big miss from Macy Durkin there.
And a big miss for Merritt, too. A big miss for Merritt, as she could have put this game even further out of reach. Because guess what? Every possession counts.
Yeah, and now with a little over a minute left, this is ever so critical for them to get a clean look at the basket. Don't force it. Don't rush a shot. Get it in the hands of your playmaker. Oh.
And taken out of Sandroni's hands by Merritt. Held on to it for a moment. And a timeout called by Cortland as Coach Janice Meyer realized that Merritt wasn't quite in the right frame of mind. Now we looked at the score report for JD. How about one from Cortland? Here's what happened the last time that the Red Rams and Cortland faced each other. These little black squares are where Cortland did not take any shots from. But here's something that we have not seen tonight, is that the selection for Cortland mostly happened right underneath the basket and then a couple of threes from the wing.
Yeah, we've seen a lot, especially coming from the outside in that three-point land. But not only that, but Cortland's ability to drive in really from both sides of the basket, not only that right side. And that's where a lot of their points have come from tonight, and being able to slash and get inside that defense.
All those gray squares you see there are points where Cortland simply did not make a shot last game. But they've been much more diverse in where they've been shooting from and where they've been hitting from tonight.
Yeah, and the Cortland team really a well-rounded team, and each of their main scorers brings something different to the table. So part of that just well-rounded shot selection.
This game is coming down to the wire here, and we thank you for joining us for it all throughout this contest on JDTV. as Starr falls.
Yeah, and if you're JD right now, you really can't allow almost any basket. If anything, the best case scenario is to get a foul, or obviously a miss is best case scenario, but if you get a foul, they only make one. You're down by 3.
Turner left open all the way out to Merritt. They're going to have to reset.
Yeah, and that reset's going to take a lot of time off this clock. If Cortland's smart, they'll use all of it and give JD only about 30 seconds left.
They're sure trying. Sent into Starr. Turner under the basket. No look. Rolls off. Sindoni fighting for all she's got, and she gets that rebound.
And the shot clock turned on, so they'll have to get a shot up within these next 20 seconds. Can't use the whole time.
Neal off the mark.
Yeah, and that's a really nice play call there. Get it to your big down low and be able to draw the foul like she's done all season long.
And by the way, Anaya Neal shooting 69 from the stripe, 29 for 42 coming into this game. So this is someone they want at the line.
All comes down to fundamentals.
1 point game. And we are tied.
And what else did you expect from Anaya Neal? In a clutch situation like that, you know she's going to deliver. That's what she does for this Red Rams team and gives them a chance. But still, got to play defense and play for an overtime.
Neal with her 15th point tonight. Now both Neal and Sandroni have set new career highs in this contest.
Yeah, and we've talked about them all broadcast long, and rightfully so. They've earned their place on this team and as their main scorers. And again, a freshman and a sophomore we're talking about, both going to be here for at least 2 more years.
24.2 seconds left in this contest, all tied up at 36 apiece. It has been a hard-fought game so far. Both of these teams want it. This is for sole possession of second place in the SCAC Empire Conference, and Cortland's 46-day win streak is on the line.
Yeah, and if I'm Coach Meyer right now, I'm trying to find a play to get one of my star players, either that's Merritt or Starr, and get them slashing and cutting towards the basket. It's been open all game long, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to it here.
Mallory Turner down to Kirsten Merritt, who holds it. They want the last shot. If they don't get it off, at least they get overtime. But Neal takes it away! Victoria Payne gets the foul!
And what an interception from Victoria Payne there, anticipating it. You talked about it earlier. Anticipating that pass offensively, being able to pick it off, and now the biggest free throws of the whole game.
Here's the thing, Victoria Payne has not scored yet today. She's only shooting 26.7 from the line.
Just needs one, though, to take the lead.
One to take the lead, and then 7.6 seconds to try to kill time. Could all come down to this.
Gets the shooter's roll. Oh, man, you heard everyone in this crowd gasp when it hit that rim.
That was almost a disaster. That is the final timeout for Cortland. They are all out of them.
And now a lot less time than you had before to draw up a play, so you have to move quickly if you want to get a good look and a chance to win this game.
Only 30 seconds on this timeout, and the Red Rams are dancing on the sidelines, but nothing is settled yet. You've got 7.6 seconds. Cortland's about to get the ball. One lucky shot, and they take it at the buzzer.
Yeah, and not to mention, you can't foul either. If you foul, you give them a chance to win the game on that alone, even if they don't make the shot.
Well, they do have 4 fouls, so they're not on the bonus yet. Or 3 fouls. One foul would be a 4th, so fouling is possible here.
But if it's a shooting foul, then
That's
it sends
true.
them to the line. So they
That's
have to
very
be
true.
really careful about how they play defensively. And if it's a 3, honestly, you may as well just let them take it. Obviously play good defense, but don't play too aggressive where you give them that foul and give them a chance to win.
Well, it all comes down to this. Cortland will probably only have time for one shot. It seems that Cortland actually had a full timeout, not a 30-second timeout. There was some confusion at the scorer's table, so this will continue to go on for a little bit. Why don't we talk about what day it is? You know, it's not opposite day today.
That's right.
Like, if you heard that in school, today is actually opposite day, so if someone says that to you, only today does that apply. It's also National Florida Day, celebrating the day that Florida joined the Union, and as Jamesville-DeWitt's native Florida man, it's a good day for me.
Yeah, represent for you, you know?
Exactly. Shout out to Florida. Also, it's National Plan for Vacation Day. Can't really go anywhere right now, COVID and all that, but you can still plan for it.
Absolutely.
Even if you're not going, you can plan for when you can go.
But here you go. Here's your ball game right now.
Why would you want to go anywhere with games like this?
Exactly. Stay at home and watch all the JDTV broadcasts. I'd recommend that as a great vacation for you and your family.
Well, we know that they do already. That's why they're here.
Exactly.
Every single one. We have some very devoted viewers. Now, because of the timeout, Merritt gets the ball right at half court. Valuable time.
Shot. But it wasn't a shooting foul. It was a reach-in, and they're not in the bonus.
That's correct. So Bellasandoni doing the right thing. 1.7 seconds to be taken underneath the net, except a timeout called by Jamesville-DeWitt.
Wow. What a series of events there. You could hear the whole Cortland side get super excited thinking that they had a chance to go to the free throw line. But good awareness, especially, I know Coach Saplicki mentioned that to his players. Hey, you can give a foul and leave a little bit of time left for them to throw up a random shot. And now only 1.7 seconds left. And it's going to have to be a wild three or a quick inbound close to the basket.
Because this may be where the strategy comes from Coach Saplicki, is we're going to have to see where they give Cortland the ball. Because the end of that last timeout, even though it was at the other end of the basket when the timeout was taken, they gave it to them at the scorer's table. Yes. So if the foul is if the ball coming out of the timeout is given at the scorer's table instead of underneath the basket, then that makes that 1.7 second shot so much more difficult.
And we'll see where they give it to him here. I think they're going to give it to him underneath the basket. You can see the ref walking towards it right now. So that is possible to get a quick open layup, almost like an alley-oop kind of off of the inbound. Such little time left remaining. And again, JD cannot foul now.
Based on the layout of this formation, it looks like they're hoping to go to Margaret Starr. Out to Merritt. Three-pointer blocked! And the Red Rams take it at the buzzer!
And who else but Anaya Neal? Who else but Anaya Neal and Victoria Payne to close out that game for the Red Rams, and they did it on defense.
What a game! The Red Rams hand Cortland their third loss of the season and their first loss since December 10th. 46 days has come to a close.
And you want to talk about a turning point for the Red Rams in the season. This is a perfect opportunity. Hey, we were down. We scrapped. We fought hard to get back into this one and win a huge game to get into that second place in the league, which plays such a big factor, especially when you get to sectionals and trying to win championships. That's what it comes down to.
A come-from-behind victory for the Red Rams. 17 points by Ava Sandroni, 15 points by Anaya Neal, who were really the big difference makers in point totals for the Red Rams, as no one else had more than 2.
But you got to give credit to Victoria Payne, especially on that last play, to be able to get a hand on that ball and tip it up and basically win the game for the Red Rams.
Victoria Payne with the decisive block and the decisive free throw as well. This one is all on her. We know who our game MVP is going to be.
And even though she only had, 3 points of the whole game, she made it
when
it mattered.
1
point in the whole game, and it was the difference maker. She made the free throw to take the lead by 1 and then made the defensive stop.
And that's all you need. And so, as our adrenaline levels settle, that's the end of this contest here from DeWitt. Thank you so very much for joining us here live on JDTV. My name is Sam Gelfand, the voice of the Red Rams, alongside my broadcast partner Nick Dekaney, and all of us here at JDTV have a very good night wherever you may be. we were good during it.
I thought we made up for it in the second half.
I felt like I was still off, but we did better than the first half. We did better than the first half.
That was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
That was awesome, yeah.
And this stream is over. 130.